Nintendo is the god of having different IPs. They have so many IPs, all of which are amazing. They're all incredibly different too. You look at Mario, right? Just a little plumber running around trying to save the princess. Then you look at Metroid, where Samus is literally saving the entire universe from a plague built inside of these viruses known as Metroids. Sounds intense? Well, take a break by becoming a squid. My point is, Nintendo has so many franchises that it's basically impossible to choose one over the other. But the general consensus is that there are the three kings: Pokemon, Mario, and Zelda. Now, the last two we have already gotten on the Switch, which is just amazing. I mean, it hasn't even been a full year, and we already got arguably the best ever open world Mario and the first ever open world Zelda, both of which are the two main Game of the Year contenders. We have Pokemon announced for sometime soon, probably 2018, however that's not a hard release date. But if you look at Mario, and you look at Zelda, and then you look at Pokemon, it's clear that there is a pattern that they have started with Mario and Zelda, and I believe they will finish it with Pokemon, and knowing this pattern basically lets us know what Pokemon Switch will be. Hey guys, it's Thomas from the Switch Stop, and I've got one quick disclaimer before we start the video. So you guys already know this, alright, but Pokemon, not technically developed by Nintendo, but come on. I know Nintendo themselves don't develop it, but Game Freak is a subdivision of Nintendo. Basically, they're never gonna develop for anyone besides Nintendo. Pokemon's never been on anything else. I mean, the former president of Nintendo, Satoru Iwata, basically saved the Pokemon franchise when he was able to condense Pokemon Gold and Silver so much that they were able to have two regions. I mean, it's basically a Nintendo franchise. So for all intensive purposes, this video will refer to it as a Nintendo franchise, as that's what I feel it basically is. Thank you for listening to this quick disclaimer. Let's get into the video. So, what is this pattern? Well, if you look at Zelda Breath of the Wild, it is an incredible open world adventure where the sheer size and magnitude of this amazing world of Hyrule is mind-blowing for anyone. But then you are able to go off on your own into these little subsections of gameplay which give you rewards that make you feel accomplished. I am obviously talking about shrines, but this could also be referred to as going to a camp and beating a bokoblin up, looting a treasure chest you find in the wild, even those damn Korok seeds. There are so many little things to do in this open world that while it obviously is first and foremost an open world game, at times it feels like a puzzle game because there's just so many puzzles around the world. Now on over to Super Mario Odyssey. It's obviously a 3D open world platformer, but there's so many of these small little crossed off segments where you either need to go through a door, throw your hat on like a scarecrow, go through those moon pipes, and they put you into these worlds that are mini little hidden sections that aren't part of the open world. They're way more linear, and they're basically either puzzles or platforming challenges. Why did Nintendo do this with two of their games? Why did Nintendo make the same design decision for these two games? Well, it's because of the Switch itself. The Switch has two modes. There is TV mode and handheld mode. Now, Nintendo will pretty much never admit this because they want you to think that you will play the Switch the same way in handheld mode as you will in TV mode, and some people do, but they know that that's not the case for everyone. It's probably not even the case for the majority. So here's what I believe people will do. People will play in these vast open worlds in TV mode, and they will explore them because you can see the entire world on your TV. Generally, when you're playing on TV mode, you have more time to be invested in the game. You're probably sitting at the comfort of your own couch. You have all the time in the world to get invested in these huge open worlds. But then, if you're out on the go on handheld, there are all these little pockets of gameplay that'll let you feel accomplished. If the game was just open world and there weren't these little pockets of gameplay as in shrines in Breath of the Wild, if you started playing Breath of the Wild, like maybe on a subway or something, and were just roaming around, and you didn't really have time to get invested into the game before maybe you had to get off the subway, you wouldn't feel like you accomplished anything. You were just walking around in an overworld. But if you are in Breath of the Wild and you are able to hop on the subway and you don't need to get invested into the world, just find a shrine and go into the shrine and you'll be there. You can immediately start playing, and even if you don't beat the shrine, you will know that you have furthered your way to a specific point. But most of the time you will beat the shrine, which, hey, that gets you a reward that you wouldn't be possible any other way. It's just a brilliant way to entice the player to keep playing if they're in handheld mode, because it gives players these little spurts of gameplay that fit handheld games better, but it also has the vast open worlds that consoles are known for. Mario Odyssey did this too, obviously. With the kingdoms, obviously it wasn't one big open world, but you can roam around the Sand Kingdom, get lost on the TV, run around, find moons. But then if you're out on the subway example again, just hop into one of those little moon pipes, take you to a platforming area, beat that, get the moon, and boom, that's an accomplishment right there. So how the hell does this have anything to do with Pokemon? Well, I believe that Pokemon will have a completely open world, like Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey open. You have complete control of the camera, you can go anywhere you want, completely 3D open. I say that because even the most recent entries of the game, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, were touted to be 3D open worlds, but they weren't really. If you've ever played them, or any Pokemon game, you'll know that it's not really an open world in the same way of Breath of the Wild at all. You can't look out from somewhere and see everything, and part of that is because it's always been on handheld until now, but there's no way to get from point A to point B any way you want. You can either fast travel there with HM Fly, or you pretty much have to walk the same way. But here, they could do something so much better. You could literally have full control of the camera, be able to look around anywhere you want, and obviously there would have to be some cornered off sections, like forests here and there where you can only get through one way, and all that stuff. But if you're just looking around as a trainer in a world, it would be so much better to do this in my proposed Switch version, where you could literally see anything, go around and stuff, and make it one open world, than in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, where I feel like you're just not really in a world, you're in a bunch of different segments of a world, all put together in kind of a line. And I'll admit, Sun and Moon did this better than most games, because of like the cities that were semi-open, but anyone who's played it knows that that's still something they can definitely improve on, starting with full camera control and a truly 3D game. Now, that's my take on an open world, but as we learned before, you still need those little spurts of gameplay. You don't go platforming in Pokemon, you don't go puzzle solving much in Pokemon. I don't really see how shrines could work because you already have the gyms, which aren't really bite-sized puzzles. And even if you view gyms as bite-sized puzzles, there's only 8 of them, as opposed to the over hundreds of moons and shrines and Korok seeds in Breath of the Wild and Odyssey. So what would be the little pockets of gameplay? Well, the answer is staring us right in the face all the time. What is Pokemon known for best? Yeah, the battles. Trainers scattered around this world would be able to battle you, you'd get rewards like you normally do, just money, or occasionally a trainer would give you something for battling them. You'd feel accomplished after playing these battles. I mean, you just destroyed someone's Pokemon team. Yet they would still be short 5 to 10 minute bursts of gameplay. It fits all the criteria. So I really think that it'll be this sort of open world game, and you run around, and then this quick spurts of gameplay are the battles. Hopefully this all made sense. I found it kind of hard in this video to get my points across, just because I'm not the best at like describing things, and this video had a lot of describing. But hopefully you guys understood what I meant when I said like short spurts of gameplay and all that stuff. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you think that this could actually work, then let me know. If you think they're going to stick with the not really true open world 3D game for the Switch, let me know. They might just stick with what they've been doing before for the Switch, just for this first Switch game, and then if they make more Switch Pokemons down the line, they'll do that. But who really knows? I think they'll do this open world thing because it works so well with the Switch. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Thomas on the Switch Stop, signing off.